How do you default water control? So I assume when you say default, you think of just like, how do I do it every round? There's several ways to take water, and it's all about which one you start with, and then you play off of that. So you could always just contact water late round. You could always condition the, you know, the usual util. You molly out the cat area right here, and then you could like come here, smoke the molly, their molly to extinguish that, show presence. You can like condition presence. You could do it fast. You know, you throw this and people go with it. You flash over. There's another way you just do the same molly, and then you just flash and have people run out through con, and then the people con, and they just smoke off top con here. This is like fast con to water. This is another way to take water control. There's not one way to take water. You should have several ways to take water, and then switch it up depending on like the team that you're playing, and then you play off of that. So like, there's not, you don't do water control one way. Like when you say like, I'm assuming that's what you think you're saying. I could be completely wrong though, but I hear a lot of people at lower levels just be like, oh, that's our default. And it's like, when they refer to default, they just refer to it as one way of playing. Your default is like how you're playing for that half pretty much, or for the next 6 rounds. That's how you're playing it. So your default could be contacting water. Your default could be late taking water by throwing the molly late. It's all about like how you start off with it, and then you just like, you play off of that. So then you could like, you know, you condition faking water control with the molly and the smoke, and then one round you play off of it. Now you actually go with it because they haven't been respecting it, and then you punish them for that. Like, you see what I'm saying? On CT Vertigo, when fighting for a ramp, you think smoke and 2 flash is enough to fight for, or you need molly HE? It depends, dude. I'm telling you, like, you need to have like there's not like one way to take map control. I mean, you said that you have to have different map control takes. That's all it is. But yeah, so yeah, you're saying like smoke and flashes. It can be if you're like I've talked about this before. It's like, it's what I call like iffy setups. Like there's setup, like I have setups where it's like the plan is to just, so I call it iffy setup, is just to like fill it out. So like a setup like this, yeah, it would be enough. So you know, you come here, you smoke ramp, and then you have flashes, and then this guy just comes here, he peeks rebar. If they're here, he just leaves. If they're not here, then boom, you got ramp control for cheap as fuck. So yeah, it depends on your take, because a smoke and 2 flashes is perfect for this iffy setup, but it's not going to be, it's not a heavy util take. It's not a hard commit to taking ramp control. It's what I call an iffy setup. You just come here, fill it out, and you have a chance to take it for free. This works really well against like pack teams or passive teams, because like if it's a pack team and let's say they 4-1 everywhere they go, 50% of the time, like let's say that, well, not exactly 50% of the time, but if you run an iffy setup on A and an iffy setup on B against a pack team, one of you guys is going to take the map control for free because they're packed up. They're not ramp and, you know, B site with 2-1-2 or, you know, 3-2 split, whatever the fuck it is with numbers. It's like they're packed up, so one of you guys is gonna get the map control. Like you need to have setups with like different plans in mind. Like you need to have your commit setups where you commit to trying to fight ramp control. That like you're like, no matter what, we're fighting this, we're gonna take ramp control. And you have your setups where you like you fill it out, stuff like that. That's how I sort it out. I don't really sort off like, oh, we need to take ramp control all the time, because you don't need to. That's how I do it with every map. Every map we have our iffy setups, we have our heavy setups, we have our like, you know, commit setups with 3 people. And then, like I said, the heavy ones is where you have like 4 people. It's like a stack. You gotta have different setups for everything.